What's up, everybody? Welcome to One Set.
What's up, everybody? Tried to follow you there.
Wow, we are back. We took last week off, but we're finally back. It feels like when we take a little bit of time off, it feels like forever, you know?
Dude, it feels like it's been a month.
I know.
So it's just like that time of year where like so much is happening, and it's just like,
yeah, I mean, you had some school stuff going on last week, and I had a couple things going on my end, so we figured instead of just doing a quick episode and kind of just winging stuff, we figured take the week off. We haven't taken a week off in a while, and those who have known our podcast for a while, when we first started out, we did 100 episodes straight back to back, week by week by week by week, 100 weeks, like front to back. And even I think we got to
I think we did 2 years straight of nonstop weekly. So
yeah, it was insane just doing that. But the fact that we knew that we were able to do that, now we're like, okay, if we need to take a week off, I mean, it is what it is. We're fine with it. But I think we've definitely proven ourselves that we're committed and just pushing out weekly content with everybody. But glad to be back and with my buddy talking some wrestling, just like just like the old days. But now we're kind of just letting everybody know how we feel about wrestling weekly.
all the time, and we love to do it. We love to just share our ideas about wrestling with everybody. And by wrestling, we do mean primarily WWE.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff on the outside that we hear about, but our main focus forever has been the WWE landscape.
WWE.
So,
yeah. Before we get into the logistics, let's get the little shindigs out of the way. If you guys are here for the first time, we are the One Set Podcast, and like Jim said, we are here to talk WWE, and we follow the latest and biggest stories going on, and we like to predict where those stories are going. So my name is Anthony Irvin. I'm here with my best friend and co-host Jim Green. By the way, Jim, let everybody know where they can find us outside of our episodes.
That is the Facebook group, the One Set Fam Facebook group. Again, on the Facebook, it is the One Set Famhausen. Come find us, the number One Set Fam. Come hang out with us. That's where we do the majority of our community interactions. We'd love to see you there and hang out, talk all things wrestling. Anth, we have a King and Queen of the Ring tournament going on, and we are down to one of the finalists for each of those, with the other finalists to be determined on Friday. And I gotta say, like, the best thing that they were able to do is position it in a way that it doesn't feel super predictable, right? It's like, okay, if this person wins, like, I think a lot of us thought that it was going to be Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins in the final, right? Like,
it was, yeah, I think that was probably one or two of our choices. But
so once they were eliminated early on, it was just like, okay. And now we see they are just getting a steel cage match in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. So I thought that the feud was basically done. Like, after they did the match on Raw a couple weeks ago, I was like, okay, good. Let's move on from this.
I mean, if we're getting a steel cage match, then, let this be the end of all ends and just let them go all out,
Yeah, I can't imagine. And that's the other thing too. Like, since we were off last week, we haven't even gotten to talk about them moving Money in the Bank back to October 10th, I believe that it is now.
Yes, that was one of the things that happened last week for sure, yeah.
I forget what I saw or read as to the reason why they moved it. I what I did see, I think yesterday, was there was some like turf war between Peacock and ESPN plus about like who got the pay-per-view or the
Right.
PLE rather. I'm just like, okay, Money in the Bank is already moved from June to September, which, okay, I will say Money in the Bank, to give somebody the contract for number one contendership, you didn't need that. And King of the Ring, which has now in the past couple of years been pivoted to, it determines the number one contender for one of the titles for SummerSlam.
Right.
I'm all for the Money in the Bank moving. It's fine. But for it to go from September to October, it's like, okay, I have mixed feelings about it. Like, it is good in a sense, like, okay, a lot of the times after SummerSlam, all the way, like, okay, you do have Survivor Series War Games, and the War Games matches are routinely, traditionally, like, majority of the time, excellent matches to watch, right? Like, they are a lot of fun. It's curious why they moved it again, unless if it actually is the ESPN Peacock turf war situation going on. Totally fine with Money in the Bank moving. Otherwise, to not have it in the summer for the first time, it is interesting. And for us to be like, okay, it's in September 5, we have to wait until September. Now you're pushing it back to October, and it's like, come on. Like, it is one of the big 5 pay-per-views or at this point, because it does get somebody the briefcase, and we have had cash-ins on the same night. So a lot of people are anticipating there being big things that happen at Money in the Bank. So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want it so close to SummerSlam. Like, they're coming off of their first ever 2-night SummerSlam that they're doing at the beginning of August. So it's like, okay, maybe if we let it breathe through September, and then we get there in October, and then November is Survivor Series War Games. December is going to be the John Cena Classic now. And then January is the Rumble. So, like, maybe they are just trying to find a way to make each month and a specifically important and valuable PLE. I keep calling it pay-per-view. Like, what year is it?
Yeah.
But
the HBO what?
I mean, call into Suburban Cable to pay $39.95 for your one-time pay-per-view buy. God, how old are we?
But yeah, I mean, with it being with fall, we're always used to saying that, you know, WWE always kind of goes into like a little bit of a downspill because of NFL, Monday Night Football, Sunday night. So they're always, you know, trying to, you know, battle between that. But with Money in the Bank going in the fall, you know, you have the John Cena Classic, and, you know, we're going to most likely have Survivor Series / War Games within that time. So, you know, the fall's kind of gearing up to being a little bit more exciting at this point. So, I mean, we'll see at that point how exciting it can get. But, yeah, now with SummerSlam being 2 nights, you know, you're now having WrestleMania being 2 nights, SummerSlam being 2 nights. You know, it's only a matter of time before we really get Royal Rumble being 2 nights. So you're having, you know, a couple of your bigger PLAs starting to be more than one night.
Right. Also worth, like, the whole reason why I got into this was thinking, like, okay, maybe we get Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker in a Hell in a Cell match, because they had done the Hell in a Cell PLE, and now I'm like, okay, maybe they're just not doing that anymore. Like, maybe not. I don't know. I think they were alternating between Hell in a Cell and Bad Blood, and I think Triple H wanted to get out of doing the gimmick pay-per-view PLE entirely, to be able to reserve Hell in a Cell as a special attraction. Like, hey, this needs to end and blow off the feud. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe we get Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match It's like, okay, maybe they do the steel cage match at Night of Champions. Maybe the steel cage isn't strong enough to contain them, and they need to go to Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam. It's the first ever 2-night PLE for SummerSlam specifically, rather. Wouldn't be surprised if we get them at SummerSlam in a Hell in a Cell match, because I don't know what else you're going to do with these guys otherwise. Because, like, I think we talked before, like, okay, are we going to get Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns? Like, like, we were supposed to get that match at WrestleMania. We were like, okay, maybe Seth Rollins is going to win King of the Ring and he's going to go have his match with Roman. And I mean, Seth Rollins didn't make it past the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. So it's like, okay.
There's obviously bigger and better things that they're trying to do for Seth. I mean, our thing we've been saying is, you know, we're eventually going to be getting Seth and Roman meeting down the line, whether that's going to be with a belt somewhere, you know, in that or not. I mean, I think that's Seth's main goal, is to getting back to the championship that he never lost. So, but we have a whole bunch of people that are in that line as well. One being Femi, you know, LA Knight's trying to get into that. So, there's going to be a lot of heads, you know, ticking at Roman eventually at some point, and all of these matches are going to have to come to, or at least some of them are going to have to come to fruition. So, it'll be interesting.
And Roman Reigns is going to wind up winning basically
each and every single one,
apparently. So it's like, okay, we're going to get this LA Knight match again.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, why? Like, they're not going to pull the trigger on LA Knight getting the title. Like,
definitely not. At this point, it's just like, you know, as much as you want to see LA Knight, you know, getting over, he's over, but not to the point where they're just going to pull that trigger at this point. I mean, it's been way too long.
Well, perhaps we should talk about somebody else who has been waiting for a long, long time to get their big break on the heavyweight championship spectrum, and that is Sami Zayn, right?
Yeah, your best friend. Yeah.
Like, if they were gonna do, it's so aggravating, because if LA Knight ever gets one of the big titles, it's gonna be like a little too, like, too little too late here. Like, if he was gonna win it for me, it should have happened already, and it is getting to the point now where it's just like, what's Triple H going to do? Like, say, oh, see, LA Knight, you're 50 years old. Congrats. Here's your world heavyweight title. And he's like, great. Yeah. Now I just want to retire because nobody cares about me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they'll give it to him once the LA Knight spark is, you know, diminished and nobody's, you know, yaying like all the time. And it's just like past his prime. Like, okay, I think we're ready. Like, no, this could have been done when he was at his prime, at the top of the game, and everybody was like waiting for it. But, you know, again, not sure if it's a Hunter thing, not sure if it's, you know, WWE and TKO mix with it, but it's like, here's another person that needs to be pushed into that little, you know, hole, but, you know, it's always being pushed back, and like they always think like, oh, it's going into a new era and all this other BS that Hunter likes to talk about, but like it's the same. Like, we have Roman Reigns as champion again, so it's like the same era, just another chapter.
Yep.
I mean, I'm okay with Roman being champion right now. I mean, at least as long as he continues to be a fighting champion and being on TV weekly, then that's fine with me. But if we keep getting champions that are not going to be showing up every week or not fighting every month, then it's just like, okay, you're just holding these belts and just letting them linger while you're letting all these other wrestlers just fight weekly for nothing.
Right. And it's like, okay, they're trying to claim that Cody Rhodes is QB1, and Roman's like, yeah, that ain't it. So you have these two main titles, as in the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. And if one title is held on to for a really long time and the other title is bounced around too much, then it's like, okay, well, that title where the guy is holding on to it for much longer, he must be the more dominant champion. So now you have two champions that are, I mean, I know Cody Rhodes has dropped it to Drew McIntyre, won it back, faced Randy Orton. We all thought Randy was winning number 15. We know what happened there. If you don't know what happened there, I'm not even going to tell you to go back and watch WrestleMania 42 or the build up to it, because like, just save yourself, right? Spare yourself the time. So you have these two guys holding on to these two titles, basically competing to make sure that their title is the more prestigious title. And we all just like, we want the title reigns to have prestige, but we also get bored and stale of the same thing over and over again. Absolutely. Which is like the big problem with Cody being a champion is like there's so many things that I've read that people have said like, oh, Cody is more interesting when he's on the chase for the title than when he is actually the champion. 100%. So it's like, as far as his match with Gunther this Friday on SmackDown, and when this like episode gets published and it's not like us recording live right now, it is happening tonight, and Gunther got to pick the stipulation. Sami Zayn is going to be the special guest referee for the match because of the tomfoolery that happened with the ref counting the 3 count with Gunther's foot underneath the rope at Clash in Italy. So I like that they were able to set it up that way. Definitely feels very much like we could get Sami Zayn either screwing Cody out of the title, or something happens to get us to that triple threat match in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. And it's like, okay,
definitely my feeling as well.
We know WrestleMania 43 is going to be in Saudi Arabia. We've been saying it like, well, we knew that the Royal Rumble was going to happen in Saudi Arabia, and we're like, Sami Zayn's going to win the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. That'll be his moment. That'll be his time.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, are they really going to carry this out until WrestleMania 43 with Sami Zayn winning the title there and then? It feels very much like TKO probably doesn't see that as a big enough attraction for WrestleMania. So maybe let's pull the trigger on Sami Zayn winning the big title in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. Have your one title run, and then get back in line. And we got to give it to LA Knight at some point in the next 3 to 5 years.
Right. Allegedly.
Good things come to those who wait.
Right.
Or so Hunter told LA Knight, allegedly. So, I mean, that's, if I had to just say it right now with that, like, that's what it looks like. We could have Randy Orton coming, and like we've been saying, oh, we might get Randy Orton to come back. I didn't know he was like injured per se. Like, apparently his back is really bothering him. That's why he's been out.
Yeah. I think he's just taking that summer vacay, ice in his back, and if anything, we'll get him at SummerSlam or sometime in the fall for sure. Whether Cody's going to be holding the belt at that point or not.
If anything, we might just be getting Randy Orton in the lead up to SummerSlam and in the lead up to WrestleMania, and that's it. Because like that's the only time that we really need Randy Orton at this point. He's at the point in his career, if that's what he wants to do, if that's where his body's at. Give me Randy Orton twice a year, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, I'm okay with it. Or if he wants to come into the Royal Rumble, I'm okay with it. If he wants to come out in between the Rumble and WrestleMania to cut promos and do what he did this year, I'm more than okay with it. Like,
yeah,
he has
he's
nothing left to
definitely earned
prove.
that.
Yeah. And those were like the big takeaways from SmackDown. Obviously, we had the advancements in the King and Queen of the Ring bracket, which we're gonna run through Raw from tonight, and by run through, just like the key highlight stuff, kind of like paint the picture of where we see things moving from here. So let's get into it. We had Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was on the show tonight. I think we knew a month or two ago 6 weeks ago, because everyone's like, Roman's not, like, they took him off the Night of Champions poster. Oh, he's not being advertised for any of the June Raws after he just said that he was going to be here all summer long, and everybody was up in arms. Everyone was up in arms about it.
Yeah.
So Roman's like, okay, is there a Raw or SmackDown where you're not overseas? Because I'll come to that one. And they were like, well, actually, we'll be in Baltimore on Monday, June 15th. And he was like, I'll be there. And
I'll make it.
I'll make it. Don't expect me overseas other than Clash in Italy or the lead up to it with Jacob. Because they're in London on Monday next week. Special start time, 2 p.m. I'm like, okay. I thought we were done over there. It's
it's just like, okay, we're back in the U.S. and then back overseas, back in U.S. Like stick to one side.
Well, I guess they're in London next Monday, and then next Friday they'll be in Saudi Arabia because Night of Champions will be in Saudi Arabia next week. So like,
yeah, makes sense, but
I get it. It's fine. After that they should. Well, I don't know if Monday Night Raw will be also in Saudi Arabia.
I'm not totally sure, but I would think that they would probably be staying for, SmackDown and then the PLE and then Raw that coming Monday.
Yeah, I just don't. I feel like because they do the PLE on a Saturday, they might do the travel day Sunday thing.
Yeah.
We'll see. But after that, they'll be back in the States for the remainder of the summer, I believe. Any rate, we had Roman Reigns and the Usos hop out of their vehicles. Roman gets his belt from his guy. He tells the guy, I got a box in the car, go get it. I was like, okay. And then walks up, there's Jacob. He, slaps hands with the OTC. And then and then he just walks with the Usos. They all walk to the ring. Roman goes on to acknowledges Jey, acknowledges Jimmy, and then Jey gets hype about, Jacob Fatu needs to acknowledge all of us. And Roman's like, I guess we do have a problem. And I'm sitting there watching thinking like, oh man, is Jacob going to get a little spanking here? Like for like not falling in line with right. Jacob basically stood up to Roman and was like, I acknowledge you, and that's it. I don't acknowledge these other goons back here, the Usos.
I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to these bozos over here.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Roman's like, okay, what's in the box, right? Like, the guy opens the box and out comes this other necklace, which I'm like, ew, what are they going to call this thing? He puts it on Jacob Fatu, and Jey Uso looks like he's going to blow his lid, and Jimmy is standing there like, oh man, I don't like this because Jay's going to lose his shit and I can't contain it, but also I don't like this either. They're both standing there looking like they're going to crap themselves. I'm like, all right.
Just all triggered and everything.
Yeah, and Joe Tessitore, not Michael Cole on Raw, which I thought was interesting, and I was like, is the Knicks parade happening today? Is that why Michael Cole wasn't there? Like, I just know he's a New York fan.
I don't know. I would think it's too soon. I would probably think it's going to be probably this weekend, if not during this week, later this week. I haven't really seen when the parade was going to be, but right. Yeah, I don't know the whereabouts of why he wasn't there. But
yeah, and they couldn't have had the parade today or even tomorrow because otherwise our buddy Danhausen would not have been on Monday Night Raw.
Definitely wouldn't have been. Yeah, he'd have been definitely in New York for that. He is definitely going to be in New York for that parade. You can count on that.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're going to say it, but I'll say it. Congrats to the New York Knicks on being the 2026 NBA Finals champions.
Big congrats. I mean, hey, we had 3 Villanova University alumni in the starting lineup for the Knicks, one of them being Jalen Brunson. So congrats to the Villanova alumni So it's almost like, even though they are, New York based, it's almost like, you got a Philly based team there. So shout out to our, Philly alumni from Villanova. So congrats to the Knicks. It was a great series. I seriously thought the Spurs were going to take that game, and then it was going to come back for New York, and then they win it. But again, they once I thought they were going to be down, they came back, and both of them had like little experience in the finals, so it was more the fact that who was going to prevail in that. So it was good to kind of have two teams that really weren't experienced in it, and then they just kind of just went off, because it doesn't seem like they were both the best teams that could have been in the finals, but it was a good series all around. So yeah, I mean,
I didn't watch too much of it this year, but I know after watching the Knicks and the Sixers last year in the postseason, I was like, yo, this Knicks team is like pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I mean
those
Brunson
Nova guys,
is definitely
Jalen Brunson
somebody.
is a beast and a force to be reckoned with, and someone who I think is going to be around for probably a little while at this point, right? Like,
Definitely. And I haven't really followed a lot of his career, but he was on the Dallas Mavericks before moving to the Knicks. And his dad actually coaches on the New York Knicks team, so they both get to share a championship ring together. And his dad played in the NBA years ago, so it just came back full circle. So yeah, it was a good father-son moment for that you don't really get that often, where you played in the league, you trained your son to become a basketball player, and hopes that he'll make it. And there was a lot of videos out there with them saying, hey, I'm training you, but do you really want to do this? Because it takes a lot of hard work and time and dedication, and Jalen wanted to do that. So it obviously got him to where he needed to go, and who'd have thought? But a lot of it stemmed from the fact that he was really, that one of those guys that was like, he was too small, not quick enough, he'll never amount to anything, and he really had to do a lot of proving, and now he can say he's an NBA champion. So
yeah, and 29 years old, like he will start the next season. After turning 30, so it's like,
yeah, still got a good amount of time for basketball wise.
I mean, LeBron James is 41 years old, so like,
yeah,
you can play however long you want,
as long as he stays healthy and doesn't suffer any like great injuries. He's got a long career, but usually once you're hitting that like back nine of like your 30s, it's like, okay, depending on how your health is, that's usually starting to call your ending of your professional career. But definitely in your like 20s and early 30s, it's like around like your prime times to really be playing.
So Joel Embiid just turning 32 years old, like, you think he still got time to be in his prime?
He's done. He's done. He should have retired a long time ago, dude. Come on now.
Talk about someone staying healthy. That guy just banged up all the time. So it's like,
I mean, you feel bad for him, but then you don't, because it's like again, not to go too much into our sports, but it's when he's good, but when he's injury prone and he's injured, he's just like, you can't really back him up, because then he has the worst attitude. But when he's out there and he's healthy, he's unstoppable. So it's like, but you can't. He can never make it through a full season healthy. And the Sixers tried everything in their like power to be like, okay, we're just not going to play him during the season so we can make sure he's good for the playoffs. He still got hurt. Like, the dude cannot stay healthy.
I'm so glad I brought this up, because I just like, I know we took this podcast to specifically wrestling back at the start of the new year, I think, and I was like, man, I'm gonna miss those Joel Embiid rants, man.
We had to get a couple of them in there. It's good. I mean, it's good to kind of just get those little things off your chest here and there.
Well, with the basketball season coming to an end, I had to try to fit him in there somehow.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks for the reminder of our
Yeah,
Joel Embiid ish.
sure. I thoroughly enjoy it. Anyway, what got us into basketball? Our guy Danhausen.
Yeah, man. He's
So
going
crazy.
off on all cylinders, though. I mean, I'm loving Danhausen. Little Anth loves Danhausen, so I mean, every kid obviously is a Danhausen fan at this point right now.
So it was like he started like really the feud with like Kit and the and the Miz. The Miz and Cheyenne was asking like a couple times like why don't I see Danhausen on Raw? And I was like, I think that they're just trying to keep him on SmackDown now because they don't want to oversaturate him to the point where
Yeah,
it gets like outplayed, over
definitely.
exhausted. And now the guy, I mean, we're like, I literally just read this morning. Oh, after Danhausen's involvement with the New York Knicks, like we can expect Danhausen to get an even bigger push. And
Mm-hmm.
and sure enough, there's Danhausen on Raw tonight with Liv Morgan, and I'm like,
Olivia.
Olivia. And when you called her Olivia, I almost lost it. I was like, okay.
I mean, the guy can't miss. I mean, it's great.
It's one of those things that he can say something so out there and quirky, and you're like, oh no, it's okay. It's just Danhausen. Like that's just who he is.
At this point, he's the R-Truth of like this, little era at this point. We had the whole years of like Truth being that like goofy guy coming out, like when he came out saying about being in the Royal Rumble or being in one of the PLEs, and Kane's like, you're not even in the match. He's like, that's my bad. It was just perfect, times when R-Truth was just being that funny, goofy character, and he still is, but obviously R-Truth just knows where his role is at this point, and he had that little moment where he got fired, but then obviously he got brought back, and it just showed how much and how important he is to the
culture. Yeah,
and so I mean, having Danhausen around it'll be interesting. If we haven't yet, I haven't seen it, but it'll be interesting if we get an encounter with R-Truth and Danhausen at one point. That'll be awesome.
They have been backstage. I think they were in the ring together for a brief moment once, and it's like they just like,
I'm sure they've mentioned each other, or at least R-Truth has mentioned Danhausen before.
Well,
but
R-Truth called him Oscar, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right, because of the face paint. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. But it'll be good to have like a promo with them together and just kind of just going off with each other and just feeding off each other. I'll just be laughing my ass off the whole time.
And none of us will be following it, like understanding what they're saying, and we're not going to care. Like we're not going to give two hoots and hollers about it.
At that point, that's just entertainment. Just entertain me at that point. Like, I don't care if you guys wrestle or if you're just on a backstage segment. That's just going to be pure entertainment at that point.
100%. Okay, so after Jimmy and Jey are beside themselves about Roman giving Jacob the Ulafala, and forgive me, I forget who the actor comedian is that's in the front row. He's like patting on Jacob as he's walking by. He like touches the Ulafala. Jacob yanks him from the stands.
Yeah, I forget his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen him. And throws him in the ring, starts wailing on him. Security's coming in. Roman tries to get in there to tell Pierce it's fine. And then Jacob goes up there and splashes him 2 times, and Roman's just standing there like kind of smiling about it and laughing about it, and it's like, okay. And then Jimmy and Jey find Roman backstage, and they're like, what's going on with this? And basically Roman does the manipulate, turn it around, and it's like, hey, LA Knight's running his mouth about us. What are you two doing about it? And Jimmy's like, or Jay's like, I'll go deal with him. And Jimmy's like, no, let me go talk to him.
Mhm.
LA Knight goes out to the ring. Out comes Jim. Out comes Jay. And I'm like, oh, Roman didn't want Jay to go. So now Jay is defying and going out there and doing whatever he wants kind of
Mhm.
thing.
And then
And
you get Jay trying to say to LA now that you need to acknowledge me. So that's almost like a slap in the face to Roman. So that'll be brought up at some point. Like, you know, like do you think, again, you know, do you think you're the tribal chief? Obviously not. You know your role. Oh, wait, that's my cousin.
yeah, and it's like, it's really got me feeling like, okay, are they really going to have Jey Uso win the King of the Ring? And then he's going to face Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But then we actually just get Jey Uso versus Roman
Roman
Reigns
again. Mm-hmm.
at SummerSlam. And I'm like, God, I really just...
I mean,
really
chances are we get Brock Lesnar costing Oba the King of the Ring, and that's how Jey Uso wins. Because, I mean, either way, if it's Jey Uso or Jevon Evans, I definitely see Brock Lesnar costing Oba the King of the Ring, and that's how we get their SummerSlam match for sure, because that's just going to, you know, be the tip of the iceberg for that, to be the reason they fight one more time. Yeah, I mean,
at this point,
it's easy money.
If Jevon Evans were to beat Jey Uso on SmackDown, I'd be like, okay, Oba Femi is winning the King of the Ring, because I just don't see Jevon getting a title shot at SummerSlam when it's supposed to be your first ever 2-night SummerSlam. You're going to have either Jevon Evans. What are you going to do? Jevon Evans against Sami Zayn? Like,
right. Yeah, I mean, that would be a big turn for Jay to face Roman again. Because like you said, it could be like, oh, you're going to face Cody, right? And then it just blows up in his face. No, I'm facing you, Oos. So, and then, you know, Jimmy can be the middleman in that, saying like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then, you know, Usos totally turn on Roman, and then it's, you know, Jacob and Roman, the Usos.
We get the Bloodline Civil War again.
Yes. So, which is what we all want eventually, because obviously Jacob has talked to Solo, so Solo's eventually going to be picking one side.
And they're gonna bring Zilla Fatu in. I mean, he's been at the Performance Center, so like he's coming.
So he'll definitely be on Jacob's side. So you'll have Jacob, Zilla Fatu, Roman, and then you could have Solo go with Usos. So that'll be 3-3.
And you also have the tall guy, Tala Tonga. And
yeah, I mean
Tonga Loa. So it's like should be interesting,
right,
to see how the chips fall with all of that. Or you can literally have Roman and Jacob and Zilla and the Usos and maybe Tama Tonga breaks away.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tama Tonga breaks away from Solo just because like they've had that dissension. And you have Solo and Talatanga and Royce Keys, because Solo's been trying to get Royce Keys in with him.
Yeah.
So like I think they're gonna wind up doing that, for even if it's just for a short stint. Just like Daniel Bryan was with the Wyatts for a minute, just like Randy Orton was with the Wyatts for a minute, something like that, where like just a very temporary type deal.
You'll need another muscle guy to kind of you know, fill out the space because of the tall dude. So yeah, right. Royce Keys can probably just, yeah, because if you're thinking of a war game situation, that's how they can probably work him in or something.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, if Jevon Evans wins and we get Oba Femi versus Jevon, like it's like, okay, Obafemi might win King of the Ring, and Obafemi might very well play double duty at SummerSlam and
night 1, night 2 type
night
thing.
night one retire Brock Lesnar, but be banged up like from it, and that way, when he loses to Roman Reigns on night 2, it's not like
right,
like everyone knows Obafemi is already banged up kind of thing. Yeah, can see it happening. What I can't see happening is Obafemi retiring Brock Lesnar and then also beating Roman Reigns night 2. Like I feel like they would save that for WrestleMania, like because that's the thing. Like we've been saying, like once Obafemi gets one of those belts, he's not dropping it anytime real soon. Like he's going to hold on to it for a while. So again, we're at this like, sure, whoever holds on to the belt, they need a decent title reign. Otherwise, it's kind of like a Jey Uso experiment, right? And it's like, we don't really want that, do we? But also, like, just to elevate the world heavyweight title, it being on Roman Reigns and him holding it for a while, if you have the WWE title kind of do this dance around thing, say it goes to Sami Zayn, which I'm like, I don't know, like it could happen, but like at the same time, it's like you have your main WWE title that's been the big title, like the number 1 belt for over a decade now, right? Like you're gonna put it on Sami Zayn and have him hold on to it only to drop it to Gunther, which like I'd be okay with if Gunther held on to it for a while, but like
if
I don't know, but then also it's like, okay, let's have Gunther win it, and then let's have LA Knight beat Gunther for the WWE Championship. Like I would not hate that if they did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you're eventually taking the route of LA Knight winning it, you know, it's obviously going to have to be off of Roman and somebody else because they obviously don't want Roman. It's going to be structured on who takes it off of Roman. Doesn't seem like LA is going to be that one. But, it'll definitely have to be, you know, LA Knight taking it off of Gunther or somebody not as high quality as Roman.
Or Sami Zayn, right?
Or like a Sami Zayn type thing. So it's not like your high, you know, top 3, you know, stars.
Right. Right.
But then one of those top stars will probably take it off him. So
Cody. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Randy
AKA
Orton.
Cody wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Yeah.
Hashtag. Yeah. Or LA Knight has it, and then Jey Uso beats LA Knight for the WWE Championship. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. And then you have Roman Reigns with the World Heavyweight title and Jey Uso with the WWE title, and Jey Uso says to Roman, like, you said that this was the number 1 title and that's the B title. That's way down the line, and that's if Roman is still holding that World Heavyweight title hostage. But I won't be surprised because apparently, according to Paul Heyman, this Bloodline saga is in the very early stages of it. And it's like, okay, we are still witnessing this going on, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much more you can, but I guess if you're just gonna, like how we were saying, like Zillify 2, and then, you know, if there's more Samoans that they're just slowly bringing in, it's like, you know, you can milk that, but you have to have continuously, you know, one up everything, because it's like you can't have the same outcome of like, okay, Roman wins, new person, Roman wins. So it's like you can't keep dishing out the same. Well, can't keep dishing out the same stories and expecting the same answer, which is like kind of like the same story they've been doing for the last couple of years, but.
It just ultimately feels like it's going to come back to, okay, it's going to be like if you're doing this Marvel universe, it feels like it's still going to come back to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and you're going to have the bloodline on Roman's side, and you're going to have Cody Rhodes and the rest of the locker room behind him, and then we just get WrestleMania 40 all over again. It just feels like that's like, because who else is going to be leading the charge if not Cody Rhodes? Femi? Femi doesn't need help. Look at him. I mean, the guy is a freaking tank. Like, so.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
No help needed there.
Let's talk a little bit more about the Raw stuff. Just on a total tangent about the Bloodline, which is fine. It's fine. And we're also
it's just our predictions.
Yeah. We're predicting the future, everybody.
We're predicting the future.
Io Sky beats Raquel to advance in the finals for the women's Queen of the Ring. And I have it almost feels like Io Sky is going to win the Queen of the Ring and challenge Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam.
I was thinking that tonight. I was thinking the same thing.
If they're not going to do that triple threat with Jade and Charlotte and Rhea, and they're like, okay, we've got 2 nights of SummerSlam to fill. Let's just do Jade and Charlotte in a singles match. I'm okay with it. And then you do Io Sky challenging Rhea Ripley, so she says. And it's like, okay, so then it's like Liv Morgan is off the hook, and it's like,
once again,
I guess Stephanie Vaquer is maybe coming back sometime soon. Like I think I heard that she's supposed to be returning soon.
That's what I heard too. That they're waiting for her return, just a matter of when. But yeah, I definitely thought about that tonight. Like, if Io Sky does win this, we could get another Io and Rhea fight, because if you're not going to have the triple threat, that's how you can bring Io Sky in. But you're going to have Rhea retain, because that can be your story of like, well, Rhea's never beat Io Sky before. So you're going to have to eventually have Rhea beating her at SummerSlam or the Night of Champions. Or you can have Io Sky, beating Rhea at Night of Champions. Rhea, goes on the chase to SummerSlam, and then she finally beats Io Sky at SummerSlam. That's her big moment of finally beating Io Sky.
Yeah, I mean, or Io Sky just beats Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam, and Io still can't beat Rhea still can't beat Io Sky in a singles match.
Yeah, or the latter.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends. Like, Rhea Ripley's hurt, so it's like, okay, how banged up is she going into SummerSlam? Do they need to have her drop the title to Io Sky so that she can take time off to heal up and stuff? Like, might have to. Like, the best thing going for Rhea right now is that she has a whole ecosystem of people surrounding her title. Apparently, I did also read in the rumor sheets that JC Jane versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam has been pitched. Like, it is very much on the table. So Io could win and go on to face Liv, like, if they don't think Stephanie is ready, or if they're like, okay, let's hold Stephanie until the Liv and Io match pans out, and then just have Stephanie enter the scene over here after the fact. The thing with Rhea is she has this Charlotte thing happening. She's got Alexa Bliss, like, she's got the 2 of them as her allies. She's got JC Jane and the other 2 from Fatal Influence coming at her. She's got Jade and Michin and B-Fab coming at, like,
right.
They have a lot of working variables moving around Rhea Ripley on SmackDown. It's like, I didn't think that it was going to be that, like, as great as it has been with her jumping to SmackDown.
Yeah,
other
she's
than,
definitely
like,
got a lot more work going, and like new people that she can be feuding with, and So, I mean, before she got hurt, it would definitely seem like there was like, okay, well, she can go this way, that way, or some other way. But now she's hurt. Obviously, now you have to switch on, you know, how these people are going to, coexist at this point, because now they all have the main focus not there. So it's like, okay, are you just going to let some of them drift and wait for this other thing? And I guess it really just depends on how hurt Rhea is and how long she's going to be out to see how the outcome of what all those things are going with her. So yep. I can also see, like you were saying, if Rhea is not ready to compete after the Night of Champions is if the Queen of the Ring is crowned, once they are crowned, if Rhea's not ready to go, I agree. Io can definitely, look at, Jade or Liv and, not Jade, definitely look at Liv to face her. But then you also got to put in that fact that Stephanie Valkyrie is going to be coming back. So if you have Valkyrie costing Liv the title, it goes to Io. But then, you have Stephanie, who is going to obviously go to Io to get that title back. And you don't want to always kind of think, oh, triple threat every time that happens. But,
right.
But
Io Sky versus Stephanie Valkyrie, like, sign me up immediately.
Definitely, 100%. I would definitely be in for that, for sure. Yep. Did we get that before? I think I felt that they did have a match like months ago.
I think that they did it maybe at like WrestlePalooza or like one of those,
or maybe the Saturday Night Main Event or something like that.
I think they gave it up to us
Raw or something.
One-off Monday Night Raw, and it was just like, oh wow, they're really doing this match here.
Yeah. So
I mean, like we
could get that again if so.
Yeah. I think they just did it as a one-off. Let's jump into a couple of the other things here. We did have Chad Gable versus Rusev. Chad getting some good crowd reaction in his first match as Chad Gable in over a year.
Glad to see Chad back on TV as Chad Gable. I
hope his momentum can continue to build and like he can really get over as a babyface. They are pushing the inevitable rekindling with Otis and Tozawa. He did pass Maxine backstage, who was talking Austin Theory again.
Austin Theory. So I think that'll probably be the first thing that, Chad gets involved with, obviously, and that's where it's going to tip off and how he'll probably get involved with the Vision and how Alpha Academy will be, formed again, because they'll have the common enemy with the Vision. So, again, they're milking the fact that Chad's going to eventually talk to Otis and Tozawa, but we got, like you said, Maxine Dupree talking to Austin Theory, and him just kind of, looking at it but ignoring it, went out to fight Rusev. So Chad's got the thing with Rusev and Penta and Ethan Page, and, having his back from Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. So he's got that little thing going for him now, and eventually, if he gets put into that Intercontinental, belt thing, depending on how that, goes, that's when he'll probably be forced into the Alpha Academy reunion thing. So, it's obviously his main thing right now is, correcting a lot of his wrongs and, going back to his past people and, asking for the forgiveness and everything, which is cool. At least he's getting, some time and, getting his matches back. So definitely glad to see, them giving him some time to really work and, show what he's made of, because, they obviously knew from that masked match that he deserves a lot more time. So Seems like they're just giving it to him and, seeing what happens.
Yeah, I am curious to see if they try to keep him as a babyface, like go on this like tour of like apologizing to people and getting back in everyone's good graces, or if like because he passed Maxine, who was talking to Austin Theory, it's like, or are we going to get Chad Gable in with the Vision like we did talk about before? Like all of this could just be working us as the audience, just to like, because I do think that Chad will work better as a heel. Like
he was definitely a good heel for sure.
It is tough. Getting over as a babyface is apparently one of the hardest things in wrestling to do. So, like, if this like Chad Gable babyface thing doesn't like take off with really good momentum,
just pull the plan B out.
Just put him in division and let him be a heel. Him and Austin Theory together would be fantastic.
Definitely.
I thought it was. No Penta on Raw tonight. Did you see Penta on Raw? I didn't see Penta
He
on
was
Raw.
not. It was more Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee that came after and helped Chad Gable. So, yeah, no Penta tonight. I was definitely surprised. I thought it could have been, I was waiting for Penta's music to hit, but it was obviously Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Again, nothing wrong with it. But, yeah. Night off for Penta, definitely, looking at getting, the Penta, Ethan Page, Rusev, and one of those other people being put into that Intercontinental, probably a TLC match, which is going to be bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, they did the ladder match at Mania. We were Penta, Ethan Page, Rusev, and Jevon Evans. Like we've been saying that Fatal 4 match needs to happen. Like I mean, I thought it was already gonna happen, and it's like, are maybe they really are just saving it for SummerSlam, like which is fine. Penta versus Chad Gable is interesting, but only if you put him in the Vision and then you have him get the IC title off of Penta, and then he's got the IC title in the Vision. But like that also doesn't look great unless if Braun Breaker has one of the big titles, and like at this point, like we just did this whole rabbit hole of Roman has the World Heavyweight title, Cody has the WWE title. When's Braun Breaker going to get one of the belts? We thought he was maybe winning it at WrestleMania 42, and then he got injured. So it's like, maybe this is why
whole WrestleMania kind of like threw all of the plans out the window, and it's like, okay, now you're just picking up the pieces and trying to get back to where you were like pre-WrestleMania. So it's like, if they ever will, because, we have Bronson Reed, who is still in recovery. We have Kevin Owens, who is also said to be coming back this summer. So they're going to be in Ontario, Canada, I think next month, which he obviously was on WWE promoting that. So could be a possible, hint that he's most likely going to be there. So
one could hope. I mean, at that point, it's like, let Sami Zayn win the WWE Championship and bring Kevin Owens back and give us Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the WWE title. Like, it's too easy.
Feed it.
Just full send. We had the LA Knight laying in the ring in the promo, and I was like, this is kind of goofy, but okay. And then we didn't do this yet. Out comes Jimmy to try to reason with him. Then out comes Jey. Things get nuclear. Jey goes to get the chair. LA fights them both off. Out comes Jacob. Hits him with the Tongan death grip.
Mm-hmm. We got it this time.
Yo.
You're welcome, TikTok.
after the fact, Roman Reigns is happy backstage with Jacob Fatu taking care of business. Maybe Jimmy and Jay should acknowledge Jacob Fatu for saving their asses. Like that is the storyline that they're gonna play into.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna boil with the fact that the Usos are not liking how Jacob just gets in and he's like Roman's right-hand man at this point. And,
right.
It seemed like the Usos were right there, but then Jacob comes in and just steals the spotlight from them. So,
and LA Knight's just going to be like, I've been trying to tell you guys this all along and you don't want to listen. And
I told you so. So,
so then are the Usos going to help LA Knight beat Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship? Like in another universe, maybe. In this one, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like, you know what? Hunter told us not to get out there, so we're just going to believe Hunter. We're just going to say we're just going to, do what Hunter tells us to, as well as Roman.
Yeah. We had Jevon Evans start cutting a promo against Jey, and I was like, okay, so I don't know if you caught what Jevon posted about Jey, about he's going to yeet his ass out of the tournament.
I did see that, yeah.
I was like, okay.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be a decent match,
So Jevon is talking smack on Jey, and then we hear, out comes Logan Paul, and I was like, okay. I knew when this guy got injured that there was no way that they were going to keep him off television for 6 months. I was like,
no.
As soon as they could get him back on TV, they're going to get him back on TV.
Yeah, because the mouthpiece on that dude. He doesn't even have to be in the ring. He'll just talk his ear off, and he's just as good as a talker as he is a wrestler. So, at least that'll give him some TV time where people won't forget about him no matter what, but it'll at least give him some TV time to stay relevant and just help this dying vision of a team that is like continuously either getting injured or something happens. So
they need major cataract surgery or something like that.
They just need to be wrapped in bubble paper every match. Like just don't touch me here.
I thought you said ball paper. Okay.
No, Jim.
No, not this time. Not this time. So Jevon goes up for the top rope cutter and turns around and eats a spear from Braun Breaker. And I was like, okay, so Seth is coming out because we're getting this cage match apparently. And out come the Profits. Out walks Montez Ford. He stands on the ring and he's going like this. And I'm like, okay, is Seth's music on a hit? No, it's actually just Angelo Dawkins. And when I say just, I'm like, okay, good. Like Angelo's back and they go in and they look strong.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, can they actually put the titles on the Street Profits now? Like if Braun Breaker and Austin Theory are going to defend against the Profits next week, you have to have Seth Rollins cost them the title. And the belts go on the Street Profits because the Street Profits need to have the run. I mean, I do have to commend the Baltimore crowd. I thought that they were really good. They were all for doing the Tez thing, and I'm like, I am here for it. Hey, speaking of, what is Jevon saying when he's doing this and he's doing this? And I was like, okay, that's cute. I have no idea what he's saying though.
I have no clue either. But I have no clue, but it's provocative. Like nobody knows, but it's provocative.
Nobody knows what it means. Is it bow? See? Bow? See? I was like, that's not, nobody's going to lean into that. Like, I'm sorry.
Right. The bouncy thing is one, but yeah, I think he's still just trying to find that shtick of what he can, kind of do with the crowd. But yeah, it's doing something. But back with the Street Profits, yeah, if that is true that they are getting the title opportunity next Monday, it needs to change hands before that pay-per-view.
It's too easy.
And if not, Seth Rollins and Braun need to, cost the match in a DQ, and then we get it again at Night of Champions where the Street Profits get it then. If they don't get it on Monday, they gotta, if it leads to another match at the Night of Champions, they have to get it there. Because at this point, we know they're eventually going to get it, but if you keep on milking it and just never give it to them, it's a total non-payoff for it. They gotta pay it. They gotta pay this off.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're just gonna I don't see that tag title match making it to Night of Champions just because they don't want to put too many matches on the card.
Yeah, because you already got the finals for the King and Queen of the Ring. You got the steel cage match.
And you also have Trick Williams defending the United States Championship against either Carmelo Hayes or Ricky Saints. So that is happening. And you're almost definitely getting this Sami Zayn, Gunther, Cody Rhodes triple threat match.
Triple threat. Mm-hmm.
You have 5 matches right there.
Yeah, so that'll probably be good enough. Yeah. So then, with that being said, it needs to go down next Monday.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to be ending next Monday with a Street Profits win and your new tag team champions. So hopefully we get that.
Yeah, I'm down. I am 100% down.
And with that, we'll also be next week doing our predictions for Night of Champions. So make sure you guys are subscribing. If you're here for the first time, once again, we are the One Set Podcast. My name is Anthony Irvin, and my co-host to the left or right of me, whatever stage right, whatever thing we are, is Jim Green over here. So yeah, we'll have some good stuff for you guys next week with our predictions for Night of Champions. We'll, discuss a little bit of SmackDown and Raw, and make sure you guys are tuning in, and we'll be here live after Raw. So, Jim, let everybody know one more time where they can hang out with us outside of our episodes.
That is the Facebook group 1 Set Fam. Again, that's the number 1 Set Fam on Facebook. Come hang out with us. We'd love to hear what you have in mind, prediction-wise, about wrestling, or ask us anything in general. And just quick, we had Charlotte Flair beat Roxanne Perez.
That's right.
She had to win the match.
Definitely needed.
She couldn't lose the match and then have the match with Liv Morgan on Friday to determine who's going into the finals. And we also had Femi versus Dominic Mysterio in the main event, which we were kind of waiting for Brock Lesnar. Didn't happen. Femi drops Dominic Mysterio with the fall from grace, and 1, 2, 3, and then Femi picks up the mic after, and I'm like,
I thought Brock was going to be there. I thought it was Brock was coming in that because they had the tight camera. I'm like, all right, Brock's going to probably do the same thing again and just attack him from behind, but we got no Brock. So it's coming Night of Champions for sure.
Yeah.
Unless he wins clean. And
if he wins clean, it's like, okay, they're going to try to figure out a way to get this title on Brock Lesnar. Then okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's either going to happen at Night of Champions or when Oba gets his title defense and Brock screws him out of that. And then we get the third Brock and Oba match. So and we will be here to watch it. So
yeah, 100%.
And to pay off the thing we were talking about earlier about the following Raw after the Night of Champions, totally forgot. It's going to be an AC, so it's going to be on the boardwalk. So it'll be in Atlantic City on the 29th of June.
What is this?
We were wondering about whether the Raw after Night of Champions was going to be overseas or in Saudi Arabia. It's actually going to be in Atlantic City, so not too far from us. But
no.
I I will not be going to that one. But we actually did get word, about SmackDown. So I got tickets for SmackDown. So we'll be doing that. So that'll be interesting.
That's the SmackDown like right after SummerSlam.
Right after SummerSlam. So, they're advertising Cody. They're advertising, a lot of guys. So it'll be interesting. They obviously didn't have any belts on anybody, but still, if you're advertising Cody, it's kind of a stickler that he's probably coming out of SummerSlam with a belt, but you never know. We shall see.
We shall see. To everybody who tuned in, thank you so much. Anth, I love you, brother.
Love you too, dude.
It was good to be back. Until next time, everybody, this has been One Set.